Framing is used in photography to isolate the object that the photographer wants the viewer to look at from the outside world. In a well-taken photograph using framing, the eye should automatically look at what is being framed. A frame in photography is something that acts as a border or a frame for your subject. There are many frames that you can use to isolate the main subject from the outside world, such as trees, archways, holes, windows, tunnels, doorways, and people. The tree branches frames the girl, therefore isolates the subject. The eye is drawn to the main object. The use of framing in this picture directs the attention toward the girl or the main object of interest. In these next pictures, the trees are used to frame the runner in order to isolate the main object from the outside world. Notice this next picture. Why isn't it a strong example of framing? A better example of framing would have been to have the trees block the other runner to fully isolate the main subject. Framing draws attention to the main subject of your image by blocking other parts of the image with something in the scene that will frame it. The gate is used to frame the girl's face, which leads the eye to where it's supposed to look. Using framing in this picture helps to lead the eye to the main subject of interest by isolating the outside world. It also creates a creative composition. In this picture, the girl is framed. Framing provides a more creative composition that is effective in isolating the point of interest. Framing doesn't just direct the eye to the main object, it also keeps it there longer. The girl is framed by the net, so it is a more interesting composition, and the main object is isolated. Here are some examples of pictures with and without the use of framing. The main subject in this picture isn't framed. This picture does use the framing composition. The doorway is used to frame the student. This picture doesn't use framing. The flower in this picture is framed to isolate it from the rest of the scene. This picture doesn't use framing. The main object in this picture is framed. The frame can be in or out of focus, depending on how the photographer wants it to look like. A blurred frame will add depth to your picture. A frame that's in focus will add context and detail to your picture. Framing is a good technique to use because it gives the photo context, It gives the photo a sense of depth and layers. It leads the eye toward the main focal point.